What's good, people? If you're watching this video, the chances are you're a teenager and you're looking into getting into the gym life and getting into fitness. Whether it's because you want to improve your physique, lose some weight, get girls, whatever it is, watch this video and hopefully all the tips in this video, you'll take it, apply it, make some gains. When it comes to teenagers and getting into the gym and bodybuilding, the first question I usually always ask is, what age can I start training in the gym? And my general answer to that all the time is, if your parents are allowing you to go to the gym and they're fine with it, then 16 onwards is a good place to start. The one thing I will say, before you actually go into the gym, you need to research exercise form and certain routines, just because you want to make sure that when you go into the gym, you actually know what you're doing. So you don't want to go in there and not know what you're doing and then you're injuring yourself. So be sure to research into like the bench press, squatting, things like that. So when you do go into the gym, you at least have a general idea how to perform the exercises. Common question number 2 is, does weightlifting stunt your growth? And I've heard no real scientific fact online or wherever to actually support that statement. Make a tangible goal, and the emphasis on this word is tangible. Don't just say, I want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or I want to look like Christian Guzman if you're a brand new lifter. Like, it's fine having a long-term goal that you're going to reach eventually years on the line, but the way to keep yourself motivated is to set a goal that doesn't look more than a month off. Like, in a month's time, I want to have a better endurance for working out. I want to be able to lift this certain way. I want to look a little bit better like this. Set those tangible goals, and as you achieve them, it'll motivate you to try and get the next goal. If you set something like this years away, the chances are that if you don't see the progress as quick as you'd like, you're gonna probably fall off. It happened to me when I was younger. I did it many times. I said I wanted to look like flipping whatever superhero was on TV at the time, and it would be like years away from my current physique, and I'd always just fall off. Should you start cutting or should you start bulking? Nearly 9 times out of 10, any new lifter should not be cutting. They always think that they can get cut and look shredded like all their favorite superheroes in the movies or favorite YouTubers. If you're starting out lifting and you have not really lifted prior, if you started to cut down right now, you will look like a bag of bones near the end. Because most people, by birth, you don't just have like a very good foundation of muscle underneath. So when you think that you're going to be cutting down to look shredded, the most you're probably going to like is maybe a very skinny guy with a little bit of a six-pack. You don't want that. You want to try and build a foundation of muscle. So one day, once you do actually cut, you have like some shreds to reveal. You don't want to just be that skinny guy that thinks he's muscular and everyone's looking at you thinking, he's a douche. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that girls be like, yo, can I touch your arm? You know what I mean? Not that that's the only reason you should be cutting for, but that is the aim that you want to go for. And some of you are probably thinking, oh, I wouldn't do that. But you would be surprised when I go through some of my DMs and messages, and it's from many younger people that saying that they want to cut down for the summer, from like school to like when school starts in September. It's like 3 months, and they send me the pictures, and they're sitting there thinking, how can they not see it? Like, I'm sitting there thinking, how can I delicately put that if you was to cut down right now, you have no frame? And it's like I have to try and put them on the path, the righteous path of gains. Because just think, you want to try and get shredded in 3 months when you have no physique underneath. If you was already had the frame, 3 months is easy to get shredded. But if you're a newbie lifter, like a teenage bodybuilder or a new person into the gym, you're not going to be able to cut down in 3 months, look shredded, because you need to spend a couple of years building your foundation. The only exception I would say to this rule is if you're really overweight, and I mean really overweight. I'm not talking about a little bit chubby, I'm talking about if you're actually overweight, like a doctor would say that you're a little bit overweight, and then you want to kind of like get into a calorie deficit, plus doing gym and a little bit of cardio as well to kind of tone that down. But if you're like your average person, cutting should not even be on your mind. Like, just delete that fast. Like, Control Alt Delete, close the computer down. Just don't think about no cutting plan. You need to get on the path of building a foundation to your physique. And that goes for those of you that think that you're skinny fat as well. If you would label yourself as a skinny fat physique, which is like a slim person that in a t-shirt looks quite slim, but like when you take the t-shirt off you have a bit of a belt area, that is still in the area where I would say you wouldn't cut. I've got a full video on that as well. It's called The Complete Guide to Losing the Skinny Fat Physique. Feel free to check out that video if you feel like that applies to you as well. I go more in detail in that one. Don't just go in the gym and just wing it and just start lifting random things, start doing random bicep curls and tricep push downs and just working random isolated parts of your body, because you're not going to see any progress in that. I've been there, done that. It was a waste of how many months of doing that. You need to follow a structured routine, stick to it, and be patient with it. It's not something that's gonna, like, you're gonna see drastic improvements within like a week. It normally takes a good couple months, like after 2 weeks you'll see some physical improvement depending on your body fat, but it's not until like I'd say a good 3 months where if you look at comparison photos, which you should be taking, you'll see like quite a nice difference. But anyway, once you get your structured routine, the main thing it needs to consist of is compound movements. And compound movements is an exercise that includes at least 2 or more muscle groups. So a pull-up is your back and your biceps and various other muscles, whereas something like a tricep pushdown or a bicep curl just working one muscle. So you need to incorporate compound moves because they're really, really great. When it comes to the compound moves, start off with the basic ones first if you're very new to lifting. So you've got your push-ups, you've got your pull-ups, those are like the 2 foundation compound movements you can do. Then as you get a bit more advanced and into the gym and more confident, you can go into doing bench press, squatting, deadlifts. But if you try any of these 3 or any of the other compounds like overhead press, be sure that you have researched the form, potentially have someone help you like a friend or even someone in the gym to spot you if you don't feel confident. Don't go on any sort of machine if you do not feel confident that you can move the weight. So you have to humble yourself as well. Don't go slap on some crazy weight that you don't know. Start with just the bar, see how you feel, and then gradually add on weight. By the way, you can also include isolation movements in your structured routine. Just cater them around the compounds. The compounds are the most crucial ones. But once you've like made this really good routine or you found one, be sure that it's to your activity level. There's no point you go Googling, can I do Arnold Schwarzenegger's bodybuilding split when you're like a brand new lifter, because there's no point. Like you can do his split, but you're not gonna look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You need to find one that's more your speed. So make sure if you go on somewhere like bodybuilding.com, you can find a beginner split that's really good or an intermediate one, or you can even go on my channel playlist. The 4-day split in my YouTube channel playlist is one of the first real splits I ever started when I first started into the gym, and it treated me very well. Follow these routines for a minimum of 8 weeks before you change it too much, unless like you really don't feel comfortable in an exercise or there's something you particularly can't do because you haven't got the actual equipment. And most of all is don't skip legs. You don't want to be the person that only ignores legs and you just want to do chest press and bicep curls because you want to look good in a t-shirt. Do not ignore your legs. What foods can you eat? Luckily for you guys, I have like loads of videos on my channel, like full day eatings or meal preparation videos, which will really show you what to eat and how to cook the foods. But for the most part, just make sure that you're eating a very nutritious, dense diet. Like you can't be eating the same McDonald's and KFC and crap and expect to see results. There is kind of like a rough saying, which is very, very, you know, it's quite true, which is it's 7% kitchen and like 30% in the gym. Because no matter how hard you work in the gym, if your diet is a piss poor shitness, you're not going to see the results beneath your body fat. Because if your body fat is covering all these muscle and definitions, you're never going to really see the progress. Unless you live in that forever bulk life, if you want to be aesthetic, you need to improve your diet. Because you need to improve your diet so the foods you're eating are going to help you grow a good level of protein. Don't just be one of those people like as a newbie lifter, do the stereotypical thing and just buy protein shakes and mass gainers. Eat whole foods. Whole foods is foods you actually eat that you cook, not processed foods from the freezer in Tesco or Asda or Lidl. Actually buy some chicken breast or buy some chicken pieces or turkey or mince. Cook it on the oven, eat the food, and you'll make progress. And before you even say it, don't try to use your parents as an excuse saying you live at home, that you're not controlling your diet. If you say to your mom or your dad or whoever your caregiver is, I want to start getting into the fitness, I want to start eating better, is there any chance you can either cook me some food separately, or is there any way you can buy me an extra portion of whatever and I'll cook it myself? There's very few parents are going to say no to that unless you obviously can't afford it. But yeah, at least ask the question. Another fundamental one here is your actual sleep. Like you don't realize that your body actually grows while you're sleeping because that's when the muscles are repairing. For your muscles to get bigger in the gym, when you're lifting weights, what you're doing is tearing muscle fibers, and when you're resting during your sleep, it's when those fibers repair and get stronger, and as they repair they get bigger because they get denser each time, and that's how your muscles actually grow to be bigger. Lastly, I already kind of touched on this already, which is don't rely on supplements because they're not magic beans. This isn't Jack and the Beanstalk. A lot of these supplements are just crap. They're not even essential. People on Instagram or wherever you've seen them on Facebook ads or YouTube ads, a lot of the times they're just promoting this because they want to get rich. You don't need supplements. Some can be beneficial and can help you out here and there, like protein, creatine, but they're not essential. Protein shakes and mass gainers are only there as a supplement if you can't hit your calories. So they're a last resort. You don't go jump into protein shakes straight away. I honestly, in the last like 6 months I've probably had only 3 protein shakes. They are not essential whatsoever. If you're a teenage lifter and you're fairly new to lifting, a lot of the times you don't need it because your body's not used to the gym and all this stuff. You're already going to be primed to make some good results anyway. All these other supplements usually may not even take that much of an effect. So I would focus more on just getting your nutrition right, your training right, following that good routine, getting your sleep in. Basically everything in this video I've told you up until this point. But before you even think about supplements, don't follow your friend because he bought a mass gainer or he bought a protein shake and he thinks he's sick because he's in the gym sipping his protein shake or his creatine telling you he's getting extra reps. Ignore that shit. Focus on you, make your progress, and I guarantee you'll be a lot better. And you'll be saving pennies. So rather than spending your money on that, spend it on some actual food. Hopefully over the months, this video will help you guys out. So all that money you've saved for not waste on supplements, you can spend that money on dates. You can be taking girls out there, ignoring your friend because he's mass gainer made him fat. So anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.